He was the youngest UFC champion in history, the man who beat legends before he could even rent a car. Jon Jones was once seen as untouchable, a fighter whose name was whispered in GOAT debates. But now, a rising storm threatens everything he built, because while Jones sits on the throne, there's one man charging up the hill. And the deeper we dig into this rivalry, the more it looks like the king might be running. In February 2020, Jon Jones stepped into the octagon against Dominic Reyes, and while the judges gave him the win, fans and fighters around the world weren't convinced. Many saw it as a robbery, a controversial decision that left a bitter aftertaste. And then, just like that, Jones walked away. He vacated the light heavyweight belt, claimed it was time to move to heavyweight, and began a war of words with the UFC over pay. It looked like a strategic move, but some began to whisper, was it really about money? Or was Jon trying to escape rising threats? Fast forward to March 2023. After 3 years of silence, Jones finally returned, this time as a heavyweight, and he didn't just win, he dominated. Cyril Gane, a man known for his movement and striking, was submitted in less than 3 minutes. Fans were stunned, analysts were in awe, and Tom Aspinall, another rising heavyweight, couldn't help but praise the man. He called Jones the greatest of all time. But what no one knew was that this admiration would soon twist into open war. In 2022, Tom Aspinall was on the rise, until disaster struck. A devastating knee injury left him sidelined, unsure if he'd ever return the same. But comeback stories are often more powerful than a perfect record. And in 2023, Aspinall returned with a vengeance, demolishing Marcin Tybura in less than 2 minutes. He wasn't just back, he was better, and this time he had one goal in mind: Jon Jones. He started calling him out publicly, loud, direct, and relentless. At first, Jones ignored him. He didn't respond to the interviews, he skipped it. But when you're at the top, silence speaks louder than words. Eventually, Jones broke the silence, but not in the way fans expected. He dismissed Aspinall as just another guy, claiming none of the new challengers were worth his time. Aspinall didn't take that lightly. He hit back, questioning Jones's ego and claiming that legacy meant facing the best, not dodging them. Just when the hype reached a boiling point, chaos erupted. Jones was set to defend his heavyweight crown against Stipe Miocic at UFC 295, but then injury struck. A torn pectoral muscle forced him out. With the card in limbo, the UFC acted fast. Aspinall versus Sergey Pavlovich for the interim title. And just like that, the spotlight shifted. Aspinall knocked out Pavlovich in the first round. A message had been sent. He was no longer the future, he was the now. With the interim belt over his shoulder, Aspinall turned the pressure up. He demanded a unification fight, said Jones should be stripped of the belt if he kept dodging. It was bold, it was public, and it worked, because suddenly the MMA world wasn't asking if this fight should happen. They were asking why it hadn't happened already. Jones fired back, belittling Aspinall's resume and mocking his rise. But beneath the bravado, fans began to see cracks. This is where the tide began to turn. Jones, once the fan favorite, now found himself under fire. Fans accused him of ducking, of cherry-picking fights, of avoiding the one man who might ruin his legacy. And then came the moment everyone was waiting for. March 2024, the Arnold Sports Festival. Aspinall and Jones finally in the same room. The tension, palpable. But when cameras rolled and Aspinall stepped forward, Jones did the unthinkable. He refused the face-off. No stare down, no confrontation, just silence and distance. And in that moment, the narrative shifted again. Was the GOAT ducking a challenger? Things got even messier. A fake NBC report claimed Jones tried to attack a nurse during a drug test. Jones clapped back with security footage and a denial, but the damage was done. Meanwhile, he continued to downplay Aspinall, claiming he had zero relevance outside of the UK. But then, in a surprise twist, Jones began teasing a fight with Alex Pereira instead, a move that only added fuel to the ducking rumors. As of now, the path forward is set, at least on paper. Jon Jones is scheduled to face Stipe Miocic in November. Aspinall, he'll defend his interim belt against Curtis Blades. But fans aren't buying the schedule, because when the dust settles, the question remains, will Jon Jones finally face Tom Aspinall, or is he writing the final chapter of his legacy without answering the biggest question of all? For over a decade, Jon Jones ruled with dominance and controversy. But legacy isn't just about what you've done, it's about what you were willing to risk. And unless he steps into the cage with Aspinall, there will always be a shadow over the crown, because the scariest thing for a legend is the one fighter who isn't afraid to take it all away. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more MMA and UFC news, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.